So you say you like cryptids. Have you heard of the Loveland, Ohio cryptid called the Frogman? What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Frogman, a found-footage cryptid horror movie from an unlikely character, which, this had my interest peaked pretty high because our friends over at Splattercast, they were very excited about this one. And, you know, I'm a found-footage fan. Some people are not. You're always going to get a mixed bag with people who either like it or don't like it. And of the ones that do like it, there's so many different people that like so many different things and have so many varied opinions about found footage in general. But I will do my best to give you my idea of what I thought of this movie today. First, I want to give a thanks to Shock Treatment Productions, who hooked me up with a screener copy of this. You guys rock. I really appreciate the opportunity to check this out. So what is Frogman all about anyway? Well, it's literally based off the Loveland Frogman, which has some pretty crazy storied history all the way back into the 70s and maybe even before. But it's essentially a cryptid like Bigfoot, except he's like a frogman living by the Ohio River. This movie is about three friends who reunite over trying to find the Frogman once again. Turns out Dallas, when he was a young boy in the 90s, in 1999, he caught the Loveland Frogman on video, but nobody believed him. So these three friends joined forces to try to document and capture the Frogman and prove he exists once and for all. So yeah, I actually watched this, just finished watching it now. I am going to explain a little bit about how I feel about found footage and what I like and dislike about it, so I can give you kind of a better idea as to what I like about found footage, so that maybe you can kind of use my opinion as a springboard for your own personal opinion about found footage films. I like a gamut of different found footage films. I like ones that are supposed to be funny. I like ones that are supposed to be scary. I like ones that are just, you know, different. I personally will get into just about any version of those, whether it's a document or, you know, just kind of like people capturing it, side hand or whatever. I think you can get pretty creative with the found footage like medium as itself, and I think they do some pretty cool fun things here that kind of reminded me of the VHS series. Now, this movie is written and directed by Anthony Cousins, who had help by John Karsko. Anthony was a part of Scare Package 1 and 2, and he's done a few other shorts as well. He has an interesting idea about the Frogman here, and I think it was a good choice for him to pick it because it is very unique. I would almost say kind of schlocky to pull off, but somehow Anthony pulls it off here. And that is, you got to give credit where credit is due. I would not think about watching a Frogman cryptid found footage movie and them to make it, you know, kind of work. You know, it does in a very fun way. It does attempt to be scary and also fun at the same time. So it has a little bit of the mix of the two in there, but I think ultimately this is just a fun movie that is trying to sort of take it a little bit seriously and goes so much further than you would ever expect as far as the Frogman is concerned, okay? Which is a good thing in a found footage movie because we've been there, done that with such typical stuff in found footage. So you really got to kind of push the boundaries a little bit. And I think Anthony does here. I think some people are going to absolutely love this film. I've already heard from some of my friends who already say they absolutely adore this movie. And I feel like some people are probably going to be a little bit on the mid-high end of this as well. It really just depends on your found footage style and interests and what you think is interesting. But I personally think by the end of the movie, you will enjoy this film. It does, however, for me, take a little while to get there. And I feel like this one could have been shortened up just a little bit more to cut out some of the fluff in the beginning. It just felt like it dragged a little bit in the beginning. I'd say this movie starts out very similar to something like, you know, The Blair Witch in that classic way, but also more of a laid back approach in this one in particular. They are having more fun with it. The two friends that come along with them is one is a cameraman and one is like a love interest of sorts. That I feel like the love interest part in this movie was and maybe that's what could have been cut out a little bit in this film. As far as the acting goes, it is above average in believability. I'm a huge stickler for, you know, how accurate and believable these kind of films are. I'd say it's above average. I wasn't blown away by the realism or anything like that. Definitely much better than a lot of found footage films that I've seen. As long as you keep in mind that you're gonna have fun by the end of this movie, because where this movie goes is so unique and so different, especially for this particular cryptid, that if you did some more research, it would probably spoil it for you. So I don't want to say, just think of a humanoid frogman, but it goes so much further. And I think you'll appreciate that by the end of the movie. That gives you about 20 to 25 minutes of like some pretty wild stuff. There's not too many characters, so it uses the characters wisely. It does have a sort of that 90s feel to it, because even though it doesn't take place in the 90s, like the original part of the movie does, but like they go back to prove that it exists, the Frogman, and they're still using the same camera that they used back when he was a kid. I love that they chose to do that, because there's something about found footage in that regard where it's a little grainy and it's a little messed up that just really gives it that sort of authentic feel to it. I think you'll be pleased with that if you like that aesthetic. Some of the tension that I was hoping for in this movie, I was a little bit missed on me, but that doesn't mean that it'll be missed on you. It could just be like, you know, like I said, everybody has a different thing about found footage, their own particular interests, their own personal, is this believable kind of feel? Like, what is believable to you? I think it's worth watching these to even find out anyway. So I think it's pretty safe to watch, and I think it's definitely better than something like Imaginary, which I just did a review of. A sweet spot in the middle where it's like kind of schlocky, but they make it work kind of thing. It's like surprising that he pulled this off, because a frogman is not a typical cryptid. It's not a typical thing that you would expect. I wouldn't go into this thinking this is going to be like the scariest film you've ever seen. That's just my personal opinion. If you've seen the VHS series, I think if you were to watch one of these shorts, you would definitely feel like this belongs in that. But yeah, I would have to give this one probably a 6.5. I want to lean 7, but I may have to watch it again by the end of the year. Just be aware that if it does fall a little flat for you, it will come up to pace and it will pick up, and you will definitely have a much better ending. Love to pick this up because I like found footage films, especially ones like this. That's why I'm kind of teetering on a 7, is because it is very unique. I've never seen a movie about a frogman, let alone one that actually works. They do a lot of practical in this movie too, so it's not like some CGI or anything. I think you're going to be well within the more positive experience on this whole thing. I'm just a little bit more particular about these things. Frogman is out now, so if you want to rent it, you can. You have to do it through YouTube right now or like Google Play. I don't know why. It's just not out on Prime or anywhere else at the moment, but I'm sure that'll change in the future probably. So just for now. Seems to not be getting as much exposure, so definitely if you check it out, spread the word and let people know about it, because I think it's one you should check out. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I've got more videos coming out here this week. In fact, I'll have another video tomorrow, hopefully. So if not tomorrow, it'll be on Monday for sure. So, but let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button and a little bell notification to let you know when I got a new video up. But as always, long live the void.